You have come here because you are thinking of being a caregiver or a nurse's aide. It's called, you can also be called a nurse's aide, a caregiver, or I know I said caregiver twice. So I was a caregiver. I was never a certified nurse's aide. I always wanted to be certified, or CNA, a certified nurse's aide. I never did it because I changed careers. But I want to tell you a few things that you may not have read, you may not have been told, and you might find out the hard way. And you may not like what you're going to experience. First of all, let me say that I was a caregiver for 13 years. I mainly worked on Alzheimer floors. It's not pronounced Alzheimer's, it's pronounced Alzheimer. Oh, I got a little window popping up there, my little TouchWiz window. I was a caregiver mainly on Alzheimer floors for 13 years. I worked in big personal care homes. I like to be part of the team. That's why I was attracted to working in personal care homes, because I thought that everybody worked as a team, and everyone, at least the homes I worked in, and I worked in good homes, people don't always work as teams. Now, number two, if you think you're going to make friends, if you're going into this line of work to make friends, you're thinking wrong. Some of the things I'd like to tell you people is it involves a lot of training. Many states, I live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania requires, I believe there's 21 hours per year. They're called in-service trainings. You have to go to the facility, even like, let's say for instance, it's your day off, and they schedule that you have to go over there. It might be 4 hours, it might be 2 hours. You're gonna have to go over there. You'll probably get paid for it. But they're called in-service training hours. When I was in the field, it was 21 hours per year. It first started out as 18 hours. Now it's 21 hours per year. You get trained in fire training. You get trained in CPR. You get trained in thicket. Thicket is a substance you put in people's drinks that don't swallow correctly, so then the liquid doesn't go down the wrong tube. It can go in their lungs, and they can actually get pneumonia. Some of the elderly people, if they don't swallow properly, you're trained in using thicket in their drinks. You can get trained in diabetes, in actually checking diabetics' blood with the meter. You can also get trained in giving the insulin shots. You can get trained. Mainly, what they're using now are the pens. But when I was doing it, they didn't have the pens. We had to actually do it with a needle, and as a caregiver, I was asked to do that. You have med techs that are the ones that give out the medications, but sometimes they ask the caregiver to do it also, which you're not supposed to because you're not trained in that. But sometimes these homes push the rules a little bit. So you're going to experience a lot of running around. You're going to be on your feet constantly. If you're the kind of person that likes to sit down, it's not the field for you. You are in Pennsylvania. Each caregiver is the maximum amount of people they can give you to take care of, to watch over, believe it or not, is 25 people. You heard right. That's the maximum amount of, that's the pushing it number, 25 people per caregiver. It's usually not that much. It's usually like 17 people, and that's still a lot of stuff you got to do. You have 17 elderly people. A lot of these homes push the perimeters of the whole care envelope. They get people that should be in a nursing home. They get residents that should be in skilled care. That's what you don't call them patients, you call them residents. A lot of the elderly people should be in skilled care that you'll be taking care of. You might have people that have false eyes, that have false limbs. They might not have any legs. You might have to put the prosthetics on, meaning a false limb. You'll get trained on how to put those on. A lot of these homes push the rules because what they want to do is they want to fill beds up. And you're going to run into those kind of residents that you think should be in a nursing home. A lot of them have oxygen. You're going to get trained on how to take care of the oxygen machines. You're going to also you're going to have to also clean the filters out in the oxygen machines. You're going to have to fill the water up with distilled water, preferably. This is all the training. Some of the machines, the oxygen machines fill up. There's these little tanks. You got to put it on the unit, on the base unit that fills the tank up. You're going to get trained on how to do that. There's privacy laws you're going to be trained in. Now, a lot of these homes, they give you this training every year. But if something happens to you, they don't back you up. Sorry, people, I have allergies. That's what a lot of these homes, if not all of them, they give you all kind of training. Then when something happens to you, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're on your own." If you don't report neglect or abuse, you also can be brought up on charges. And these charges can be a felony charge. It's called, if I'm not mistaken, it's called neglect of care for a care-dependent person. If you see one of your friends that's verbally, mentally, or physically abusing another resident and you don't report it, you are just as guilty as they are. You could actually get arrested and you will be brought up on felony charges. At least that's how it is in the state of Pennsylvania. Even though that happens under the personal care home's roof, which they should be responsible, they're not. They put the finger on you. They pass the buck on you because a lot of these homes, what they want to do is they want to protect their own license. So they will pass the blame off on you. You'll not only lose your job, you could be brought up on felony charges. Then you won't be able to get a job anywhere. And plus, you're going to have to hire an attorney to get you, hopefully, off. That's what a lot of these homes do. Let me see, what else did we miss here? The training, 21 hours per year. Now, like I told you guys, this training is going to involve everything from taking the blood readings for diabetics, to lifting people the proper way, cleaning them the proper way, ADLs, possibly medications, first aid, fire training, the oxygen machines. I'm probably missing a lot of stuff. Thicket. A lot of these residents, they have to have special foods. They're on special diets. Some of them can't eat nuts. Some of them have gas problems. They can't eat anything that gives them gas. You know, and especially with diabetics, it's a little nightmare. And the pay is not all that great. You're gonna be getting a little bit above minimum wage. Now, if you don't have the calling, if you're doing this just for a job, you're in the wrong field. Another thing I want to tell you too is don't treat the elderly like they're babies. They're not babies, they're adults. They've had a lot of ups and downs in their life. They've had goals. They might have attained their goals. They might have failed in their goals. But they're not babies. Don't treat them like babies. They're adults. Their minds never change, but the body does. A lot of people think the elderly are real fragile. They're not. They're not real fragile. They're people like everybody else. The minds in some people might get dementia or Alzheimer's, but most of them, the body changes and the mind doesn't. That means they still have sexual desires. Some of them are still bigots. Some of them are still racists. But the main thing is, in these homes will not, and these are the big companies that run these homes and the mom and pop personal care homes and nursing homes. They will not stand up for you when the you know what hits the fan. Because all they want to do is they're going to protect their license and their name, and they're going to put the blame on you, and you're going to go to jail. It is a rewarding field. I used to love helping the elderly, but from when I did it and the way it is now, the kind of people that are in the field, you are not going to like them because they are not there for a career. They're there just for a job. Another thing is, you can't leave until you're replaced. You cannot leave your shift until your replacement comes in. So let's say, for instance, if you're working the 7 to 3 shift isn't usually, because that's when the bosses are there. The trouble shifts are the evening shift and the night shift. That's when the bosses aren't there, and that's usually when the cat's away, the mice must play. So let's say, for instance, you get the evening shift, which might be 3 to 11, and it's snowing outside real bad. You're ready to go home. You're tired. You're peed off. You had a bad day there. You did a lot of running around. You're tired. 10:30 comes around. The person who was supposed to come in calls off. I'm sorry, I can't make it. I'm snowed in. That means you can't go home. That means now you're going to have to stay there and do another shift until morning. You are mandated to stay. You cannot go home. And that happens actually quite a bit. Because like I told you, a lot of people, they don't do it for a career. They do it just for a job, and they don't care if they come in or not. Some people might have a young child at home. Something happens to the child at the last minute. I can't come in. A lot of them bring their kids to work if the facility allows it. And you got a lot of little kids running around. So these are some of the things you're going to have to think of if you still want to get into it.